Hi everyone, and welcome to another video in the series where we show you how to drive growth and competitive advantage using the world's most powerful digital marketing channels at each stage of the customer journey. So in this video we're going to focus on Facebook ads, and we're going to be looking at how to determine if a campaign is commercially viable, setup fundamentals, audience targeting, and finally a strategic approach to help you achieve the best performance from your campaigns. So is it commercially viable? Before you go near any interface or run any campaigns, always crunch the numbers to get a feel for the economics of the campaign and whether a return is likely. By running the numbers at outset, you're going to have an idea as to the potential of your funnel and what the key metrics need to be in order for the campaign to be a success. So when we talk about key metrics, we're talking about how much it's going to cost to drive traffic to your website and how much traffic we think is going to be required based on expected conversion rates to hit your target, and then whether that stacks up in terms of a return from the campaign. Below this video you'll find a link to a Google sheet which will help with these calculations. Now that we've got an idea of the numbers required to meet target and generate a return, let's have a look at setting up the fundamentals. So to get the most out of Facebook ads, you need to feed the algorithm with data. And this is done via the tracking pixel, but setting it up to track page views and your single main conversion type is kind of the least that you can do. You want to take this a step further and set up event tracking for user behaviours and actions that occur further up the funnel. We're talking things like video view rate, time on page, specific pages viewed, downloads or link clicks. Another thing that you want to do at outset before you do anything is set up retargeting audiences. So you might want to consider creating web traffic that's visited your site in the last 7 days, in the last 14 days, in the last 30, 60 and 90 days. Also create any audiences for any event tracking that you've set up in the previous step. Next, create custom audiences, and I'm talking about creating an audience from your customer data or even from inquiries and leads. And finally, create some engagement audiences, and that could be people who have engaged with you on social media or people who might have opened a form but not submitted it. Basically, track everything you can throughout the whole customer conversion journey. And there's two main reasons why you want to do this. The first one is you're going to give Facebook more data to work with, and that's going to benefit you from an optimization and performance standpoint. And the second one is you're now going to be set up to optimize towards a lot more data points and audiences, and this could serve you well for future testing, building conversion funnels and running targeted campaigns to specific audience groups. So by setting this up at outset, data starts to collect from day one, giving you more to work with. And that's a good thing when it comes to driving performance of your campaigns. Alright, let's have a look at audience targeting. So depending on your objective and what data you've got available, it's often a good idea to start with audiences based on data. And what I'm talking about is customer match and retargeting. So you could run offers directly to these audiences, but for this campaign, assuming you want to reach new prospects, you want to use this data to create a lookalike audience. So the lookalike audience is where Facebook creates an audience for you based on the data that you feed it. So for example, if you feed Facebook your customer list and create a lookalike audience off the back of it, it's going to go and find more people who are similar to your customers based on all the profile data that it has on its users. You can set the relevance of a lookalike audience from relevant to broad based on a percentage scale. Personally, I prefer to keep things on the more relevant side and even add in demographics and interest targeting to further refine this audience. If you don't want to create lookalike audiences, or you've just not got the data to do so, then you can create audiences based off demographics and interests. So you should have a good idea of the demographics of your target audience. That could be from either Google Analytics data, CRM data, or company research. Next, identify a handful of similar interests to attach to the demographics, and you've got yourself an audience. So it's important to group similar interests together in one audience to prevent overlap. So if two interests are pretty much the same, don't split them out into a single interest per audience. You might want to use the Audience Insights tool as well for further insights and inspiration. If you're in B2B, I hear you, it's more challenging. So you might want to try targeting competitors, tools and software, industry events and publications, industry influencers, or even well-known non-competitor brands in their world that they might follow. So by creating 4 or 5 audiences or ad sets and running 3 ads to each one, that should start giving you some good data to pretty quickly find some winning combinations. Okay, let's have a look at a best practice approach to drive the most performance from your campaigns. So there was a significant update to Facebook ads not too long ago that you need to be aware of, and that's called campaign budget optimization. And the key difference with this update is that budgets were now set at the campaign level instead of the ad set or audience level. Facebook then controls the budget and pushes more budget towards what it thinks is the highest performing audience. So the problem with this is it removed your ability to manually test your audiences, and you're now 100% reliant on Facebook. Furthermore, Facebook's pushing budget towards the best performing ad set based on the campaign objective that you tell it. But your campaign objective might not be your true objective. So what I mean by that is, for example, a clicks campaign objective might outperform a conversion campaign objective, even though your true campaign objective is conversions. But this won't be clear to Facebook under the campaign budget optimization setting. So what do you do? How do you get around the campaign budget optimization that Facebook's brought in? Use the split test setting from Outset. So the split test tool will allow you to funnel budget equally to the different ad sets to help you identify a winning combination. And during your split testing phase, you want to test either ads or audiences. So if you're testing ads, run several ads to one audience. And if you're testing audiences, run a winning ad to several audiences. When you've identified a winning combination of audience and ad, move this into a campaign budget optimization campaign so Facebook can help you scale it via the algorithm. So to scale performance and scale the campaign, keep repeating this cycle of testing audiences and ads, and when you find a winning combination, move this combination into the campaign budget optimization campaign and let the algorithm scale. Okay, let's go through some bonus tips. A high click-through rate will usually result in a lower cost to reach that audience, and that's going to mean greater performance from your campaign. Make sure your ad copy and creative speak to the audience interests and the desired end result. Resist the urge to talk about you and your brand and make it all about them. They're the hero in the story and you're the guide. Test different campaign objectives. So if you've got a winning funnel that's performing well on a conversions objective, chances are it will probably perform well on a clicks objective as well. But the traffic might be cheaper, therefore the return might be greater. Review your data and look at data at placement and device level. Quite often you'll find significant differences in performance with these segments, and that's going to yield some really good opportunities to further optimize your campaign. And finally, improving the conversion rate can often yield far greater gains in performance than any optimization efforts. So always consider this in everything that you do. So I've also included a few useful links in the description of this video that you might want to check out. The first is a link to the campaign planning calculator from earlier in this video, and the second is a link to Facebook's Creative Hub. So here you can see all the different ad formats available to you, the specifications for each, and also inspiration to help you create your own ads. And the final link is Facebook's ad library. So here you can see what ads other brands and even competitors are running, and this could be really useful for gathering insights and inspiration. And that wraps up this video. So as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to help. And if you'd like to see us cover any topic in a future video, feel free to let us know and we'll see what we can do. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified of when the next video is available, and enjoy the rest of your day.